Welcome to episode 5 of the Selling Leonardo podcast series. Here we are taking a deep dive into the infamous Salvator Mundi painting that was wrongly attributed to Leonardo da Vinci. This controversial painting has stirred up quite the debate over recent years, and I am hoping to be able to shed some light and insight into the matter. If you have missed any of the first 4 episodes, I do recommend that you get caught up and watch those first, as each episode builds off of the last. It is important to see the whole picture in order to really see what had happened here with this painting. What I think is also important to mention is how I came across the very people involved with the Salvator Mundi. In 2022, the Louvre Museum in Paris gave me a rare copyist permit so I could paint my own rendition of several Leonardo da Vinci works inside their museum. It was a truly remarkable experience and something that I will forever be grateful for, as they only give this permit to a few well-qualified artists each year. But over the course of several months, I began preparing myself to paint inside the Louvre Museum, and several Da Vinci scholars helped me along the way in preparing for this. And it turns out that these scholars were directly involved with the infamous Salvator Mundi. To find out the full story, make sure to pick up a copy of my book, Selling Leonardo, the Art World's Greatest Scandal, available at all major book retailers. And with that being said, let's get started. With all of what we have covered so far in this series, we still haven't gone over just why the Salvator Mundi is a bad painting. With the limited number of paintings that we have of Leonardo's, they are all close to perfect. There are such little mistakes that they are not noticeable, and even the imperfections seem to flow quite well with the work. But there are many issues with the Salvator Mundi painting. The first one that I would like to bring to attention is the panel in which it was painted on. It's true that Da Vinci preferred to paint on walnut, and that is also what the Salvator Mundi was painted on. The problem that arises with this is that the panel had a major knot in the back of it. It was because of this knot that ultimately caused it to split in half when the restorer Diane Modestini had it in her possession. I do not think it is likely that Leonardo, a master Renaissance artist, would choose a panel with a knot in it. However, a panel with a knot would more likely be given to a student to paint on. Now, what about the visuals of this painting? Well, the entire thing is awkward and claustrophobic in nature. At first glance, it is easy to see just how oddly presented it is. The face is dull and lifeless, and not really anything exciting is going on with it. And the blaring issue is that the Salvator Mundi is depicted as being straight on. There is not one other painting by Leonardo da Vinci in which any person or animal is facing head on like this. Even with the Last Supper, Jesus has his arms stretched out and his head tilted to the side. All of the other characters painted by Da Vinci have some type of twist to them. So if the Salvator Mundi was truly painted by Da Vinci, which it was not, then that would mean that it is literally the only Da Vinci painting where someone is squared up and facing forward. Hello, I hope that you have all been enjoying this podcast series so far. There is so much to be covered with the Salvator Mundi painting, and on top of that, you could literally spend a lifetime just learning about Da Vinci. If you are wanting to find out more about Leonardo da Vinci, the Salvator Mundi, and my involvement with this notorious painting, pick up a copy of my book, Selling Leonardo, the Art World's Greatest Scandal, available at all major book retailers. Now let's get back to the podcast. There is not a smoking gun that points to Da Vinci having created this painting. There aren't even hints that he made this, but the presentation alone of the painting is enough to know that the Salvator Mundi is no Leonardo. There are many other reasons as to why this is the case, and it is not only because of a panel with a knot in it, or the character being head-on. Many more reasons exist. Some other examples would be the cheeks. One cheek is puffy, and the other one appears to be sunken in. The eyes are not evenly aligned, and the nose is crooked. Leonardo was a devout Catholic and would not have depicted Christ as ugly and awkward. At least he didn't in other depictions he did of Jesus. These mistakes simply would not have been made by Leonardo. However, a student in his workshop would certainly have made these types of mistakes. With all of the issues regarding the presentation of the Salvator Mundi, I simply cannot list them all here. But one more that I do want to point out is the claustrophobic nature of this painting. It appears that whoever painted this work did not do the best planning for it. The left hand that is holding the crystal ball has a cropped thumb. In other words, the artist literally ran out of space on the panel for being able to paint a completed thumb. Leonardo da Vinci would never have made a mistake such as this. A man devoted to studying optics wouldn't have had this happen to one of his works. The Salvator Mundi is clearly a work by a talented, devoted, but still learning student from Leonardo's workshop. And so this brings us to the end of episode 5 of our 10-part podcast series. Please make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all future episodes. If you are wanting to take a deeper dive, make sure to pick up a copy of my book, Selling Leonardo, the Art World's Greatest Scandal, and stay tuned for future episodes. Until next time.